Artemis.
Yes.
All right. You'll be the first person to go. Give me a D5.
You gotta stop with this, man. I'm scared.
Nat 1 or Nat 5?
2.
That didn't sound nice. Two.
Sounded more like my sister sneeze. Choo!
No. Let's figure out third place.
All right. So, campaign. First thing we do is I ask you, who are you? What are you? And I ask you to explain your backstory. You go into that. Once you finish explaining your backstory, that's when you are officially put into the campaign, and that's when we start with you. I'll start with your opening scenario. Okay. So, first thing I ask you, I say, what is your character name?
The character is Artemis.
Okay. Do you have a last name?
Artemis Timana.
Right. All right. And your race is?
Sorry.
You said what?
Sorry.
Did he say Staru, as in the Pokemon?
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Pokemon are fun.
Is that what you mean, like Solari?
The sorry. The one with the pencil head.
The one you said he
He's
could
the
change
Draenei?
out. No, the one you said he could change out for
Oh,
missile and
okay.
damage.
All right.
Has the most.
All right. I was confused as hell.
He's a little muffled for me. Can anybody else hear him clearly?
No, he's
Yeah.
he's quiet.
I'm soft-spoken and my mouse is crappy, so that doesn't really help.
I was just making sure because I'm deaf, so I'm like,
Right.
it's trash.
Okay. And fill us in on your backstory. Like what brought your character onto the Malagi in order to be transported away from Uska?
Well, Artemis's father was a Solarian scientist who had a huge fascination with human and elven cultures, and so he named Artemis and Artemis's siblings after human words.
Mm-hmm.
He named her after the god Artemis from way back in ancient history, especially ancient nowadays. And growing up reading stories about Artemis grew a bit of an affinity for like the flora and fauna of different planets and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and was more at home usually drawing pictures of plants or reading books about animals and plants under the shade of a tree or something, rather than inside a laboratory or something in a germophobic space. And so Artemis had always wanted to kind of set off and see these flora and fauna of different planets with her own eyes instead of just reading about them. Upon coming of age, she boarded the ship.
Alright, so about around that time where you finally came of age was at the time of the shift from the galaxy that began to change the climate of the planets. So in a way, you were kind of happy that you were able to explore out, would you say, rather than a lot of people would be sorrowful of leaving their home planet. You actually had plans for that.
Yeah, Artemis had been planning to do it for a while.
All right, good. So in a sense, this is actually something that is, unlike others, is not holding down on your spirit too much. So you got on the ship. The time that you got on was scrolling up. 1 second.
Okay, sorry to interrupt. I have good news.
Yes.
I don't have to go at midnight.
Oh, that's great, man.
That's a good thing.
Because
So instead of having
start late, so
yeah, so instead of having 7 more minutes, we have a couple more hours.
Woo.
good shit.
Woo.
All right.
Hello.
Shit. Yeah, where I was. Oh yeah. So you're kind of happy about the big expiration actually being able to move out. The year that you actually settled to the Malagi is going to be 1324. It was going to take you guys 2 years to get to the next planet, which would be a place for you guys to try to potentially settle down in. And in the beginning of the trip, they warned everybody when they first came out, there's a lot of people. The estimated population rate of people that were going to be on the transport ship was roughly around 2 million. So in order to keep you guys from running out of actual food, because they didn't have enough supply for everybody to feast off of for that whole duration of those 2 years. They put the majority of the people who had paid actual tickets to get onto the Malagi, they put you guys into a cryostasis, into a cryosleep. And you guys were destined to be into the cryosleep for 2 years. Until you guys actually got to the next planet for you guys to actually get off. But due to the trip being a little bit longer than they expected, you guys are getting out of this cryostasis a month projected before you guys would reach the new planet. So during this time, you guys were escorted into the ship, very massive ship. You noticed it more destined along the lines of the bells and whistles that you begin to hear as you begin to see crew workers wearing this like kind of forest green jumpsuits. They were all wearing and like laced in this golden embroider said the Malagi. So you guys kind of knew that these people were crew. You guys, one thing you did notice was that a lot of the people that were on the ship were of Zolorian descent. That's one thing that on Valeska, a lot of the species and races were kind of diversified.
Hey, it's my kin.
Right, but you notice on the Malagi, a lot of people there were Zolorians, and it's something that you didn't really raise a lot of questions about, and you willingly, because this is what you paid for, got into the Malagi, and you were placed into this cryostasis for the estimated date. During your cryostasis, you begin to have these vivid dreams, almost as if they were kind of lucid more than anything. Felt like real life scenarios. The one thing that you do notice that your mind was able to recall as you were as they wake you up and as you're coming to, is a cathedral. It's a very dim lit area. You kind of see the marble essence of the floor as there are multiple pillars that are kind of ascending toward the ceiling in order to keep the structure of the cathedral. And you do notice that there is a very solemn, very saddened playing music, and it's kind of sounding like it's omnipresent, like it's coming from all angles around you. And in this dream, you're entering into the cathedral, and about 20 feet before you, you see a group of people who are wearing these black robes and hooded attire, and their backs are to you, and they are looking toward this stained glass window. And on this stained glass window, you see it's the inscripted picture of this beast. It's massive in size. It looks like it could be of Titan sized, and it looks to have one singular body with multiple arms and orifices that come down and around the being. It has a huge, disproportionate mouth, and it is eating on the bodies of innocent civilians and innocent people. And as you begin to take a couple of steps into this cathedral, the heads of the cultists, of the people that were in the cathedral, begin to turn toward you. And just as you begin to cry out answers and asking questions why, this is when you woken. And you're waking up and you are aboard the Malaki. You are in the actual department of the cryostasis. So you're waking up out of the tube earlier than predicted. Nobody has come to you yet to open up your chambers. You're kind of waking up as a I guess you can call it as a mistake. Because most of the time everybody's set to wake up at an exact date. You are one of the few people that are on the Malaki that are waking up early. This is a little bit of a depicted image of what you might see. I will share my screen for you. It's kind of like have any of you guys ever seen The Matrix? The first one.
Of course.
When Neo had awoken from his streamers early, and he was able to look out and see nothing but other pods and things that were alike for him. It's kind of like that similar aspect. It smells very damp, very rugged, I guess you could even call it, muggy. And this is the image that is placed before you, something that is familiar of what you would see. The millions and millions of actual cryotubes and people that are actually lying dormant that have not awakened.
Millions and millions. Oh my damn.
Okay, fair enough.
So,
It's still loading.
nope. It's just, oh, it's still loading?
Yeah, I need this.
Is it loading for everybody else?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's up for me, I guess. And I was down.
Yeah, I don't know. I disabled and re-enabled it.
Oh no.
They say cookies and milk.
Let me know if you can see them.
Sky might just be that dude today.
Yeah, it might.
What are those?
I can describe it if you want. I've seen it.
Oh yeah. You see that? I'm just wondering, like, with the visual image that I give him, I want to show him a physical representation of it as well, but it doesn't pop. That's fine.
You can restart the call.
Okay. Yeah, this is Artemis only. Yes, this is your personal intro. Okay. As
You
you're
keep moving. I got it. I got a visual.
Yeah. As you're waking up, you notice that you are looking at the other crowd tubes that are kind of lining along the wall. See these big mechanical arms are kind of picking the different crowd tubes off of the mounted walls and placing them in different directions, and it leaves like a loud mechanical roar and the rumbling of actual motors that are moving these massive arms that's kind of shaking the stasis of your crowd tube. And you do notice that yours is kind of perched a little bit higher, but your crowd tube is descending down toward the ground, and as it's about coffin size, so you necessarily don't have enough room for you to move around, and you don't notice that there is no liquid that is kind of containing you inside into that stage. The liquid that kept you in had leaked out, so your timer was set a little bit earlier than others, and you might find that out. You can inquire for that to be a little bit off schedule or to be a little weird, but as your crowd tube does touch the ground and the sarcophagus, you can even call it, begins to open up, it creaks open, and you hear the loud crack as the glass begins to separate from the actual compartment, and it's like as it begins to slowly open up, and you can see the steam kind of coming up from your body as this stale air is greeted with your frame, and coming from the left, the immediate left, a place that you cannot see yet. You have to physically lean your body out. You hear the sounds of footsteps out of all the mechanical noise. You notice the sound of footsteps that are approaching toward the crowd.
Well, most people who are coming out of cryostasis probably don't have full mobility yet, so those Artemis's mobility on that scale.
Sorry, I can barely hear you now. Say that last part again.
Most people coming out of cryo sleep would not have like, full mobility right after. So where's Artemis's mobility on that scale?
Okay. All right. What is your presence?
Presence. Start looking that back up. Presence is 12.
Okay. Your body is heavy. You do notice that you do not have full control of your arms and legs. You notice it's like a more of a delayed response than anything. You think about moving, and then slowly your body will begin to push for it. And it's a very frail, very lack of cognition. So you do notice that you don't have full control over your body, but you are just able to lean your upper frame up if you wanted to.
Well, Artemis is the curious sort, so Artemis would lean up to investigate the sound, or the source of the sound.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you lean your frame up and you push past the droppiness of your being as you go try to turn and look toward where these footsteps are coming from, and you're just able to turn to see just as the person is approaching you. You notice it is a Solarian. Looks like to be of a male descent. His skin is yellow toned as his hues and eyes are of a deep dark purple, and he's wearing a black suit. It looks like to be of a stitched fiber that clings very closely to his frame, and he's holding a black clipboard within his hands. But his eyes are set directly on you as he comes around, And for the moment, there's nothing that's said between a lot of you, and he kind of just looks you. He looks towards you to meet eye contact, and he slowly diverts his eyes downward to kind of glance over your frame, and then next you know he's just staring you in the eyes. He doesn't say anything to you. He just observes.
Artemis. So probably a little too groggy to make too many moves. So just gonna sugar her a little bit. Are we already at the destination, or
Yeah, you push past the words. Um, you're able to speak, and it's more along the lines of like, no, no. But he you kind of see like as you're trying to talk and as you're speaking, he kind of leans in intently as he tries to decipher the words for you, and in return he just says, "Awake." And he kind of holds out his hand, and he only has three long elongated fingers upon his hand, and he holds up just one, and he holds up two. And he says, "How many fingers am I holding?" And he just holds it up toward you just to see if you're actually there, or if you're in one of those lucid states.
I'm completely aware, right? No double vision or anything.
Yeah.
Alright, then she'll just answer. 2, 3, but one's down.
And he folds his arms across his chest as you say what he has expected, which was the correct frame. And he says, "Well," he says, "I don't know what to say." He says, "You're not supposed to be." He looks around at the other crowd teams and sees all the dormant things. And he looks back towards you and he says, "How did you get down here?"
Looking around as much Artemis is able, Artemis will attempt to shrug. I don't know, it kind of just carries me down.
And you see, he unfolds his arms. He looks at the clipboard and he says, "Well, you are head of procedure." He says, "Well, we might as well begin." He says, "Your name, first name."
Artemis?
What is that?
Artemis.
Yeah. So you see, he tries to he begins to scribble down upon this paper, and he says, "I have a question for you. Are you wanting to stay as a civilian for the last month until arrival, or are you wanting to pick up an occupation?"
Tilts your head. What kind of occupation?
He says, "You can help with the labs, you can help with medical." He says, "You can help with the atrium, or you can help with Ella."
Artemis thinks about
He kind of goes into more of a description, and he says, "These jobs are just to keep civilians busy while we try to reach the designated planet. This is not something that is required for you to pick up, but it's something to where if you wanted to entertain yourself, this is something that is worth the time."
Artemis thinks for a moment. Well, my father was a scientist who studied humans and other creatures like them, their biology.
So you would be interested in the laboratory, studying specimens. You gotta see like his eyes kind of begin to glow as the smile kind of creeps across his face.
She turned. How many planets do you have specimens from?
He says, "Well, we have been on ship for a year and some time now. A lot of specimens were gathered upon Valeska, but those come from all over." He says, "It's kind of just depends. Depends what they feel working on. I can tell you there are over 42 different species of beings, but those within themselves are more than enough wonders to last for years. Dissections and different excretions of oils and proteins of the organism is more than enough data to compile for quite some time. So a lot of the specimens have not been tapped into yet. That's why they're asking. That's why this is one of the jobs that are available, because they're asking for some more hands-on."
At the mention of seeing different species, Artemis has kind of a black eye. That is a job for me.
Yeah.
And then
So-
she tries to do like a little hand motion and probably fails horribly.
You see it begins to scribble down upon the notepad once more as you kind of say that you would like to try out for the actual laboratory. And he speaks up real quick as he finishes writing down. He's like, okay. He says, I want you to close your eyes.
Artemis will do that, as she's told. Doesn't have any reason not to.
Yeah, you slowly close your eyes as you do as was recommended. And you feel something softly raise across your face as it begins to actually cover your face. And it is a dermal film. The dermal film is kind of like a suppressant that puts a being to sleep, like a small face mask. And when it touches the orifice of the face, it clings to the face, and that's when it emits. And the moment that it kind of like touches your face, it clings on, and you begin to feel as if your face begins to grow cold as the serum is emitted from the dermal film, the dermal filter, and you slowly lose your consciousness again. Next person on this list.
Luca Brasi.
7, 7, 10, 10. Everybody, I don't know why everybody rolled 10s. It's crazy.
That's funny.
Go to
Oh,
a seven.
that's the roll order? Because we all roll 10s.
Right. That's why I had you guys roll again. Next person.
Wait a second, what? I'll do this, me.
Luna.
Yes.
Oh shit, Dallas stealing the fucking names and shit.
Right.
If you did it to piss me off, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Look, at
You
first,
just recently said you didn't care and it's fine, it's the game.
Well,
Look
no,
at
if
you.
he did it to piss me off, I'm gonna fuck him up.
and look,
I'm pushing you out the air duct. I'm done with this.
You try.
do you see my name now? Just so that you would not, get your panties bunched up in your ass crack.
What? That's
Change
not
my
even the...
fucking name.
I didn't know I wore panties. Thanks for telling me that.
You know you got a little try.
Victoria's Secret.
Clearly, it's a G-string.
Victoria's Secret.
Victoria's Secret.
My
Not a secret no more.
I gotta find my fucking character sheet.
All right, Dallas. In the meantime, roll me a D5.
A what?
Roll me a D5.
Hold on.
Did you guys see what I posted in Skype?
Oh, no, I was... Wait, it changes.
For the starting situation, roll double nat 10 and then a nat 5. You're the captain of the ship.
All right, a
How are
D5
you?
said.
Yep.
There you go.
What did you roll? Come on, roll.
3.
A 3.
Do
Okay.
that shit. Okay, everything's set.
I'm starving.
What is it? Oh,
I just went and had supper, so.
Gene starved.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much food I eat. I'm still hungry.
It's Greek yogurt with chocolate chips and honey.
See, that wouldn't be enough for me. How do you eat that for dinner?
Say Greek.
No, supper, not dinner. Dinner was fried chicken, chips, and baked beans.
Chips as in like French fries, right?
No. As in homemade potato wedges.
Yeah.
Yes.
British
Ameri-
chips, not American chips.
Well, damn.
Americans have
Those are pretty much
pretty much turned to using dinner and supper kind of synonymously.
Yeah, in the UK we have tea, dinner, and supper. They're three very different things.
I only know this because I have a couple of UK friends that I used to talk to all the time on Xbox Live, and they would often talk about that.
Yeah, Xbox Live.
Yep.
Hamstar.
I missed it, man. I missed it.
Hamstar.
PC Master Race, welcome to infinite free online play.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, PCs.
Oh, yeah, no.
PCs are
Trust
where
me,
it's at.
I'm still
love-
DC. I'm still DC for life, but there was a time where I was on Xbox Live. A lot.
So, yeah, Rashawn, what's up? Roll a
Yeah.
3.
Right. So, what is your name? First and last name.
My first and last name is Neolana Morana.
Gold.
That kind of makes me want to like blow my brains out into a
Yeah.
Anna Morana.
Blow your brains out. I had a simpler name, but Julian had to freaking have a little pissy fit.
Okay, and what are
But
you?
they call me Neo for short.
Okay, and what are you? And what are you?
What race are you?
Oh, race? I'm Angorian.
Okay.
Gotta
Are
get
you full Angorian or are you cybernetic? What's happening here?
I'm full blown freaking balls to the wall, hot sexiness, glows a slightly light green, freaking robot man.
1, 2, 3.
So you're fresh off. You're fresh off the production line then.
No,
What the? F-
no, I'm not fresh off the production line.
Yeah.
He's just an outdated model.
Right.
All right. So fill me on your backstory.
Let me give you my appearance. I just finished typing it all out. While I was listening. I'm 7'2". Her exterior has a light green hue to it. It seems to glow slightly at times. It's smooth and cool to the touch. She usually wears some loose-fitting clothes that are able to bend and stretch with her movement. Unlike you, these fleshy mortals, that with the muscles that bend and flex in their clothing. She also wears a hooded cloak that covers her facial features, but her eyes still seem to pierce the darkness in the hood. And the backstory: she was born by a very brilliant man who she lovingly calls father. She lived comfortably until she was after her production of about 12 years or so. After that, some things had changed. Her father had died in a horrific lab accident, as well as the lady that she considered she was like an on type of figure. What else do you need from me?
That is for your backstory.
Well, there's some other things in there, but did you read it? After this all happened and everything, I mean, she did get some training in some certain things, while she was younger. But as of recently, she's been doing a lot of small little things, to help the neighboring towns and everything. Along with some of her friends and everything. But she's gotten on board the ship to see what she can do about getting a better life, and maybe finding out about this supposed accident. Who was behind it? Who killed her father and her aunt.
Okay. All right. So you board the ship for answers. That is your big thing.
Yes.
They told you the same procedure as everybody else. You got there on the year 1324, and you weren't supposed to reach the designated planet for 2 years. So just like everybody that went into cryostasis, you were put into your systems were shut down as you went into I guess you can call it a slumber for your own.
So hibernation mode.
There you go. An extended hibernation. That's one hell of a recharge. You might fry the battery at that point.
No.
That's like...
Unless you got done one of them built-in eternal batteries.
Eternal.
I was thinking more like the boards.
battery.
Unless you're solar powered, you just get your energy from the sun.
Instead of microcarbon fiber batteries the size of a watch battery that could power the city of New York's energy needs for 10 years.
I have tendrils to take care of my recharge. Just need a willing victim.
Hell no.
True.
That sounds about right.
Both y'all will get dropped in your neck. It's all good.
AJ sounds like a willing victim.
Nope.
It does.
Nope. I don't even know how you know my name. Nope. Oh damn, it's up there. I see it. See.
Right. I had to label it so you can see it because I didn't know your character name.
I can change it right here. Yup. Never mind. That's not what it says.
I would like to change my character to a giant spider now.
Shut up. You know what?
I've already called that shenanigans.
I'm starting with a fucking rocket launcher until he does that. Then let's go.
How?
Okay.
You get a spoon.
How you? Yeah, you get a spoon.
Yeah, spoon. You can throw it and think it's a rocket launcher.
Spoons are deadly, man.
And
Yeah,
for the
maybe
eyes.
like a Navy SEAL.
Only when used correctly. He clearly does not have weapon proficiency. Spoon.
It's cool. I'm a monk. My fists are rocket launchers. Let's go.
Alright,
I have built-in rocket launchers.
So
Let's
what
go
he's gonna
on.
do- What he's gonna do is he can get like those things from Ruby and just have shotgun fists.
What you mean, Yang's gauntlets?
Yes, gang shotgun.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, no, sorry, I'm looking for something real quick.
Okay, he was looking at something.